So, Dr. Akinwale, I would say that human resource management have evolved over the years. So, as an educationalist, what are you doing to see that you are also abridged of these recent developments in the industries?
Wow, I like this question because you are getting to the heart of my passion. If I don't go for international conference in 1 year, I will not be happy. That's one of what I'm doing. I make sure I attend conferences so that I can interact with sincere researchers and colleagues from all over the world. So I've traveled to more than 20 countries. I've been to North America. I don't want to begin to mention country by country, but I've been to Europe, including England, France, Italy. I've been to Latin America. I was in Brazil for research. Okay. So, and within African countries, I've been to South Africa, I've been to Cameroon, I've been to Ghana, I've been to Ethiopia and Senegal at different times. So, if you check my CV, you will see a list of conferences and workshops I've attended in the last 10 years. And the number is quite, substantial. And the outcome of all of this is that I give God the glory that I'm abreast of the current development in my field and in human resource management. And part of the current debate is now on the fourth industrial revolution. I was part of the discussion in Italy in 2017 at the University of Bergamo. Okay? And now, as at that time, we've not come to terms with that reality in Nigeria. As at 2017, that's just like 3 years ago. And as at that time, the world is already thinking ahead that changes are taking place. The workplace is so dynamic. The usual practice of employees leaving home by 8 o'clock, returning back by 4, 5, 6 p.m. is declining because of advancement of technology and the fact that people are now being encouraged to work smart, meaning flexibility is being built into the work systems and the job status is changing, portfolios are changing, and even the career identities are changing. The way people describe themselves or the way they describe their career is changing. Okay, people are getting to focus more on some things like talent manager, learning and development professional, and so on and so forth. Unlike before, that emphasis was on training. Okay, reward is being separated from motivation. Motivation and compensation are being differentiated, and people are going to specifics instead of formally that most concepts are being combined. Now, professionalism is the watchword. Okay, so to respond to your question in summary, I've been keeping myself up to date by attending conferences and by interacting with experts and professionals. And through research, I always think of one research or the other to embark on, because through research, I'm able to come across new findings, new discoveries, even from other countries. And I try to look at the situation in Nigeria. And I have seen that we are far away from the modern reality. And one quick example I want to mention to you right now is the fact that I've discovered through reading that occupational safety and health technology is now being used in developed countries to reduce the impact of hazard on employees. But in developing countries, including Nigeria, workers are not adequately protected. And this is challenging. This is inappropriate. We need to do something urgently, especially workers in the formal economy. Many of them are not using protective equipment. They don't have safety glasses, no safety boots. Their eyes are not protected. I'm talking of experience of masons and other artisans that work in real estate and other areas of the informal economy. Farmers, you have poisonous snakes, you have insects in the bush, you have contaminated water, and these people are exposed to these hazards and disasters daily, yet we do not have adequate policies to protect our employees. So that's an area that should be looked into. There are other several areas, but in Nigeria, we've not got to that level of investing in safety technologies in the workplace, because this is the era of technology advancement, and we have to change the way we do business. Also, human resource management practices are changing. In Nigeria, the employers of labor, governments, officials should not pretend that they are not aware of the current trend. They need to be part of it, because Nigeria is the 7th most populous country in the world. If you count China, India, USA, Brazil, Indonesia, it's Nigeria that is next. So whatever has happened in this country, and these countries I've mentioned comprise both developed and emerging economies. So Nigeria should... Exactly. Thank you.
So in essence, all the parties in the industrial system, both the employers, and the states, the government, they have to be part of this fourth revolution, particularly
Fourth industrial revolution.
Fourth industrial revolution,
Yes.
particularly in this Nigeria that we are. So while answering my previous question, sir, you made mention that there are some aspects of human resource management that are now being specialized on, like we now have motivation and rewards not combined together. So, sir, I would like to ask, how broad is this HR field, and what are the career opportunities that students have that they can specialize on, sir?
Very interesting question again. Human resource management is very broad, right from workforce planning. That is, even before any organization considers recruitment, they have to plan. And in that planning, you have job description, job specification, job evaluation, because the company must have a budget before bringing in employees, because at the end of the month or at the end of the year, employees will get paid. They have to receive their emoluments, which will include different allowances and so on and so forth. So I'm trying to summarize the continuum of HR from workforce planning or human resource planning, and within that, job analysis, job design, and so on and so forth, we have to be incorporated, meaning adequate arrangements will have to be made for new intake into the company. And if the HR managers want to implement the workforce planning, they would then think of employee resourcing, starting from recruitment, selection, placements, and all these are initial processes and practices. And each of these areas I mentioned has several job opportunities. For instance, recruitment requires talents. Not anybody can do recruitment. In fact, when applicants submit their CVs, it's usually challenging. I've been involved before doing recruitment, and I could see what the HR managers go through to even manage applications, because they have what they have advertised as specifying the job description and job specification. And some applicants, whether toe the line or do not toe the line, even those applicants that comply with the requirements may be numerous. So they have to shortlist. There's a job opportunity in that area. If a student of human resource management is skillful in managing volumes of application, some companies will be ready to pay a premium to get that student. Then, in addition, when the employees now get the job and they are about settling down, that begins from when they accept the offer of employment. The next thing that will happen will be beginning of learning and development, induction, on-the-job training, and what have you. Then along the line, performance management will take place, because when employees start afresh, they first of all start on probation. after they have been successfully selected, the company will still try to test, run if the recruitment was in error in one way or the other. So when employee pass through probation period, their employment may then be confirmed. Then after the confirmation, then career management programs will be put in place, which is still an aspect of human resource management. And in all of this, a new career opportunity that is emerging is known as HR analytics, meaning the use of data to analyze human resource management practices and creation of scenarios, simulation of processes, programs and practices, and provision of suitable advice and recommendation to human resource manager and managing director of companies on the implication of certain data sets, including the demographics of employee, and the implication of all of this on human resource management processes like remuneration or payroll administration. Okay, payroll has several career opportunities as well. If somebody is good at management of payroll, some companies will be ready to engage the person and pay premium, because through that person can help organizations to minimize cost or block leakages or reduce the propensity of error. Because if there is error in payroll administration or management, you know the implication of that. It could cost the company a lot of damages in terms of financial loss, and in terms of reputation at stake, and in terms of embarrassment or litigation. Because if employees are overpaid or underpaid, it's a major problem. It could even lead to court, and the company may be embarrassed in the process. So no company wants to joke with sensitive issues like administration of payroll or management of payroll or emolument and so forth. Then to summarize, because the question you have asked can take us a whole day, because HR is polymerous. It has different layers. Each layer has several layers, and so on and so forth. But there are some aspects that we must mention anytime we want to even summarize. The occupational safety and health is a major aspect, and especially in developing countries, we have shortage of competent hands in occupational safety and health. If hazard lead to disaster, it will cost the company more. So the management of occupational safety and health from prevention level is more economical than when company wait till disaster happen before they now think of way out. So in a nutshell, there are several job opportunities in HR, from recruitment to occupational safety and health to pension management, because in this era that workers are being laid off in some companies, the issue of severance pay or management of remuneration allowances will become an issue, and that's another area of professional interest which companies are not doing well. Okay, so and maybe they are not doing well because they don't have good advice, or they are not interested. Either of the two, either because of shortage of professionals in that area, or because companies are not interested for reasons best known to them. So really, human resource management as a course is very lucrative. Any student that study human resource management should not be stranded, because there are different career opportunities there. There's no aspect of human resource management that is not lucrative if the student can demonstrate ability to apply knowledge to solve problems. What the student needs to do is just to convince the employer that, oh, this company is having this problem. If I'm allowed to join your team, I will make a difference. And not just by word of mouth, the students will be able to apply the knowledge of HR analytics, for instance. The student can demonstrate this in 10 minutes, if permitted by the company. He can quickly study the demographic of the workforce in that company, looking at, for instance, the age, the youngest and the oldest, and calculate the cost implication of the emolument in the next 5 years, and give the MD the implication that, oh, maybe the number of old workers is more than number of young workers, and maybe the salary of one older worker will pay the salary of 5 younger workers, and that has implication. Okay, that how many younger workers will the company will be able to carry effectively, and how many older workers should the company carry effectively. So the ratio and the balancing. Some companies may not really be sensitive to this, but it takes a student of human resource management with good acumen and with competence to be able to show the organization the difference it will make if certain decisions are restructured or considered, as the case may be.
So thank you very much, Dr. Akinwale, for your answer.
You're welcome.
So I would like to say that as HR students, as HR enthusiasts, don't be stranded while looking for work, because there are wide opportunities available for you in the HR industry. So, sir, looking back, you will see that you once served as the subdean of Faculty of Management Science in the prestigious University of Lagos. Likewise, you've also served as the head of department in Faculty of Employment Relations and Human Resource Management, formerly Industrial Relations and Personnel Management, in the same University of Lagos. So, will you say your experience in this HR field have helped you in making some managerial decisions while you are on this post?
Certainly, yes. I was the subdean of the Faculty of Business Administration, University of Lagos. It was later that the name of the faculty changed to Faculty of Management Sciences. So when I was the subdean, the name was the Faculty of Business Administration. And of course, the knowledge of human resource management helped me to succeed in my responsibilities as a subdean. One of the responsibilities then was to organize and coordinate election for students. And you know how tedious that could be. But with the knowledge of people management, I was able to communicate effectively with students, and they maintain decorum. It is when students are confused that they may want to engage in violence. So effective communication, which is part of areas of interest in human resource management, is powerful. If a leader is able to communicate effectively, that leader will be able to appeal to the sensibility and senses of the audience or client or customer, as the case may be. And in the process, the office of the Dean of Student Affairs recognized my contribution and sent me a letter of appreciation later. And subsequently, even after I was no longer the sub-dean, the office of Dean of Student Affairs has been inviting me every year to come and talk with all the final year students of UNILAG during their career week, you know. And UNILAG, that is University of Lagos, has about 74 departments. And so all the departments have final year students. And so part of the activities for sending the students off is to organize program for them and equip them with relevant knowledge, including how to write their CV, how to conduct themselves during an interview. You know, the university is making effort to assist the graduating students to be able to apply and get job without stress or difficulty. And to achieve that, you know, the office of the Dean of Student Affairs is directly in charge. And since that time till now, they always invite me anytime the final year students are about to graduate. So, and I believe it was part of the little effort I made when I was the sub-dean that attracted the attention of the then Dean of Student Affairs. Even when a new Dean of Student Affairs assumed office, I think he sought advice and they told him, oh, why not in fact, this person and this person, he has been the one doing it for us, and he has been doing it excellently well. So I would say in that area, yes, the knowledge of human resource management really assisted me to succeed in office. Apart from election and student counseling, there are other aspects in terms of dealing with colleagues. You know, the lecturers in the faculty of business admin up till now are still very close friends. I could see it in their body language that they were impressed. To God be the glory, we did not record any crisis during my tenure as a sub-dean. And interestingly, there were some foul play that some students wanted to perpetrate, which with the knowledge of human resource management, I was able to discover, and we resolve it amicably. Some students wanted to manipulate the process, but because we put some checks, they could not succeed. We detected and our election had to be postponed, and later we reorganized, and everything ended peacefully. Then when I was the head of department, that was from 2017 to 2019. So I served 2 terms. So because after the first term, the university management reappointed me again. And since I'm not yet a professor, the maximum period anybody can serve as head of department, according to university regulation, is 2 years. It's only professors that are given opportunity to serve for 3 years in the first instance. So, yes, when I was HOD, I met some practices in the department which needed to be reviewed. One of those practices is, I don't think I should say this on air, because it could have some unintended consequences, but I will just try and paraphrase it. So part of what I did as HOD was to improve on the operations in the department. And of course, people were used to a particular way of doing things, and somebody bringing innovative ideas will be a bit, new to them. And resistance is logical. People like to resist what they are not used to. And so I experienced that as head of department. And the knowledge of HR assisted me in managing that challenge, meaning challenge of resistance. First, I communicated this innovation. Even before I implemented them, I went around the offices of lecturer, and that's social dialogue. I discussed with them the vision that I wanted to share, because the vision should not be a unilateral decision. It should be a collective decision, which is part of important principle in the human resource management. A leader should not be autocratic. There are different management styles. Each style has when it is suitable. There is no one style that should be applied all the time. So the leadership styles, are situational. Okay? So there are times you may want to apply autocratic style. There are times democratic style will be more suitable. There are times that laissez-faire may be considered. So first, I made sure that I interacted with my colleague, and the rules are clear. The rules of engagement. Okay, how do you teach? What do you teach? How do you allocate courses, and what have you? So with the rules already established, I was able to achieve tremendous progress.